All right, we are live. So, hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about what's new for Google Summer of Code 2022. Google Summer of Code, if you're not aware, it's a program primarily for students, especially college students who might be in their university or who might be in their undergrad or postgrad or even PhD, to be able to actually contribute to different open source projects. So, this is an initiative started off back in 2004 by Google, where it invites, like different open source organizations. Some of them include things such as the Python organization, MediaPipe, TensorFlow, just to name a few of those as examples. And each year, this program is held where a number of different organizations apply, and the ones who get selected have a few different projects that they list. These projects could be in any kind of a technology. It could be in machine learning, Android, or C++, compiler, right? And once this is done, then students actually apply for be a part of this program, and the program duration is usually 10 to 12 weeks, and students during that particular time have to contribute to that particular project. Each project will have a bunch of mentors who would be mentoring the student. And in order to sort of be part of the program, the students have to basically, within a particular time period, they have to submit a proposal for the same. And if their proposal gets accepted, they get part of the program. And of course, they not only get to contribute to open source, they also get things such as some stipend to support their contributions. So that's pretty much what exactly is Google Summer of Code. Every year, Google Summer of Code has a few changes, and this year as well, we saw a few changes that have come up. Now, some of these are quite huge. Some of them are somewhat small changes. So we'll be discussing over all of them. Now, the first one that we're going to be talking about is, just first of all, a brief on the 2021 stats. A total of 1,205 students from 67 countries completed the program. There were more than 2,100 mentors and admins of a lot of these different organizations which took part, and there are a total of 195 open source organizations that took part in this particular Google Summer of Code of 2021. There were more than 25,000 students who actually registered, and they represented from more than 140 countries from all over the world, which is a huge number. And you can see that the rate, or how many students actually end up participating in all of these different projects that are part of Google Summer of Code. Now, what's new? So the first one, or sort of simply the biggest one, is the eligibility criteria. The program is officially now not going to be just limited to students. So whether you are a self-taught programmer, or you have done a career change and you have come to programming, or you're sort of returning back to workforce, right? You just need to be 18 and over to be able to actually apply. Now, there are a few caveats, and that is that the rule for being able to just apply twice and like be selected twice is still going to be there. So, I mean, now you just don't need to necessarily be a student or actively, be a student, or just having recently graduated from like a course, right? Anyone who is actually a working professional as well can actually come and contribute and apply for these projects. So the focus really is to build and give voice to more underrepresented groups in open source, and that's one of the main reasons that in order to increase the diversity of the participants, people from different background can actually come and be part of this program. And officially, we'll stop using the terminology Google Summer of Code student, and it will become a Google Summer of Code contributor, because the program is now not just going to be limited to students. Now, the next one is the size of the projects. So earlier, there used to be like this 350-hour long projects till 2020. That changed in 2021 when the entire duration of the projects was actually reduced. And this time, Google Summer of Code is actually allowing you to have multiple sizes of the projects. So that means there are going to be medium sized projects that are going to be 175 hours long, and then there are going to be large size projects that are going to be 350-hour long projects. And the organizations would be encouraged to have both different sizes of the projects. when they're actually submitting their project ideas and when they'll actually be selected. So one thing to keep in note is that if like an organization gets like 4 to 5 slots and they have like the proposals that they request for are all 4 to 5 that are large, that will not be allowed. So essentially, the main aim is that every organization should focus on having a balance between medium and large projects, because the students it's not always possible for the contributors to really take part in the large projects. So in order to be able to become more inclusive, there will be medium size and large size projects, and every organization will be encouraged to come up with project ideas to scope their projects in such a way that they're able to have 175-hour long projects, and they're also able to have 350-hour long projects. And when they're actually submitting their project proposal, that will have basically whether this particular project is going to be a medium sized or a large sized project. Now, finally, there's going to be flexible scheduling. So the project or sort of the program is now not just limited to from between May till August, which used to be the official timeline for most of the years. Now there's going to be a flexible scheduling. So the schedule will be 12 weeks by default, like we have had before. But now, because of the fact that a lot of times students or mentors might have some personal issues, they might face some personal problems, they might want to request to actually expand the duration of the entire program. So now the program will be not just limited to 12 weeks. It will be anywhere from a minimum of 10 weeks to a maximum of 22 weeks. So essentially, let's say if there is some kind of an issue or a scenario where the program actually needs to be expanded further, right? Or like, the duration actually needs to be expanded on the request of the student or on the request of the mentor, the end date can actually be updated by the org admin for that particular project. And that way, like the timing and the duration can actually be changed based on the common thought or sort of the common agreement that has come up by the student and the mentor for that particular project. So these are like some of the largest things that are actually going to be coming up for this new Google Center of Code 2022. These are some of the bigger changes that are actually coming up. And so also, this as a side note, there's actually going to be a new web application for Google Center of Code that is being completely rebuilt. The official timeline for Google Center of Code 2022 will be launched somewhere in late December, early January of next year, that is of 2022. And basically, that's pretty much it with respect to what are some of the biggest changes. Now, again, some of the caveats to keep in mind is that for the flexible scheduling, it will be something that will be changed on the portal by the org admin, where they can set basically the timeline or like the ending date that will sort of again reschedule the total amount of time that the student is actually giving, not the student, the contributor is actually giving to the program. And of course, as I mentioned, that there are going to be multiple sizes, so whatever the student is sort of comfortable for being able to provide. Similarly, on the organization side, they will be needing to give proposals and try to make both medium and and converting and have large projects as well. So both of these. And basically, you cannot change from medium to large or large to medium. So once the project has been decided, it will stay as medium and large. So if organizations are sort of preparing proposals, they need to keep in mind what particular project will have, whether it will belong to a medium sized project or it will belong to a large size project. And then again, the expanding the eligibility is it's open really for everyone. So in a nutshell, now Google Center of Code is not just for students, it's for everyone above the age of 18. Anyone from different diversities can actually come up. Again, their main aim is to focus on the underrepresented groups of in open source and increasing the diversity. So we are now no longer a Google Center of Code student, but a Google Center of contributor. And we are going to be having multiple sizes of the projects. And finally, the schedule has now become much more flexible in order of the preference of how it's been going on for the student and for the mentors to really, again, have everyone, in part of this program. And similarly, the evaluation criteria will be changed based on this, based on the timeline. But essentially, that's what are some of the major changes for Google Center of Code. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be dropping in my Twitter link in my description. So thank you so much for watching. These were the new updates for Google Son of Code 2021, 2022. Thank you so much.